Someone can control you without ever raising their voice. They do not need threats. They do not need obvious aggression. Sometimes the most dangerous pressure is quiet. It comes disguised as concern, disappointment, jokes, silence, or small comments that make you question yourself. When manipulation is subtle, you may not feel attacked. You may only feel confused, guilty, anxious, or responsible for keeping the peace. That is why this matters. Quiet manipulation does not usually look like a villain in a movie. It often looks like a person who knows exactly which emotional button to press, then acts innocent when you react. In this video, we are breaking down 7 signs someone may be quietly manipulating you, what is happening psychologically, and how to protect yourself without becoming cruel or paranoid. The goal is not to manipulate back. The goal is to see clearly. Sign 1. They make you explain yourself more than necessary. A healthy person may ask questions to understand you. A manipulative person may ask questions to exhaust you. At first, it sounds reasonable. Why did you do that? What exactly did you mean? One question becomes 10. Suddenly, you are not having a conversation. You are on trial. You say you cannot meet tonight because you are tired. Instead of accepting it, they question your reason, your mood, your loyalty, and your intentions. By the end, you are defending a simple boundary, like a crime scene. Psychologically, this creates pressure through over-explanation. The more you talk, the more material they have to challenge. You begin searching for the perfect reason when truth is already enough. Here is the defense. Stop feeding the courtroom. Say, I understand you want more detail, but my answer is still no. You do not need a perfect argument to have a boundary. Sign 2. They use guilt as a leash. Guilt is not always manipulation. Sometimes guilt tells us we harmed someone and need to repair it. But manipulated guilt feels different. It appears when you have done nothing wrong, except disappoint someone who wanted access to your time, energy, attention, or obedience. You might hear, "After everything I have done for you," or, "I guess I just care more than you do." The words may sound wounded, but the hidden message is clear. If you choose yourself, you are the bad person. A friend wants your help on your only free day. You say you need rest. They go cold and say, "Wow, I thought I could count on you." Now the issue is no longer your rest. The issue is your character. That is the trap. Guilt shifts the focus from the request to your identity. Instead of asking, "Is this reasonable?" you start asking, "Am I selfish?" Protection begins with separating emotion from obligation. You can care about someone's disappointment without surrendering your decision. Try this. I hear that you are upset. I still cannot do it today. Guilt is not proof that you are wrong. Sign 3. They rewrite events with confidence. One of the most destabilizing patterns is when someone changes the story and says it like it is obvious. They deny what they said. They soften what they did. They exaggerate what you did. They remember your reaction clearly, but somehow forget the behavior that caused it. You say, "You told me I was embarrassing." They respond, "I never said that. I said you were being dramatic." Now you are not discussing what happened. You are defending your ability to remember reality. People misremember things. But if the pattern is consistent, and your memory is always treated as defective, while theirs is always treated as final, pay attention. The effect is self-doubt. When someone repeatedly challenges your perception, you may start depending on them to define what happened. Your defense is documentation and distance. Write down important conversations soon after they happen. Keep messages. Use simple language. That is not how I remember it. You do not have to win a debate over reality with someone committed to changing it. Clarity is a form of self-defense. Sign 4. They punish you with silence, then pretend nothing happened. Silence can be healthy when someone needs time to cool down, but silent punishment is different. It is not a pause, it is pressure. They withdraw affection, replies, warmth, or politeness. You feel their anger without them saying it. Then, when you ask what is wrong, they say, nothing. But the punishment continues. You disagree with them in conversation. After that, they answer with one word, avoid eye contact, and make you chase them for stability. Eventually, you apologize, not because you understand what you did wrong, but because you want the coldness to end. Silent punishment trains you to associate boundaries with abandonment. Over time, you may stop being honest just to avoid the freeze. A strong response is calm naming. It seems like you are upset. I am open to talking when you are ready, but I am not going to guess or chase. Do not reward emotional withdrawal with panic. Sign 5. They disguise criticism as concern. This one is hard to spot because the language can sound caring. They say, I am only telling you this because I care. Then they cut into your confidence. They question your appearance, your goals, your friends, your decisions, your competence. The message is not, I support you. The message is, trust yourself less and trust me more. A partner may question what you wear. A coworker may frame doubt as professional advice. A family member may call your independence unrealistic. Genuine concern leaves you clearer. Manipulative concern leaves you smaller. Psychologically, this creates dependency through erosion. If someone can slowly weaken your confidence, you may start controlling yourself for them. To protect yourself, ask, what specific support are you offering? Real concern becomes practical. Control becomes vague, defensive, or insulting. Not every warning is wisdom. Sometimes it is a cage with soft lighting. Sign 6. They move the goalpost. You do what they asked. Then it is not enough. You apologize, but now your tone was wrong. You explain, but now you explained too late. You change, but now you should have changed sooner. Every time you meet the condition moves. Someone says, just be honest with me. So you are honest. Then they criticize how you said it. You try to be gentler next time. Then they say you are hiding something. No matter what you do, you are still failing. This pattern keeps you chasing approval that never arrives. Peace feels always one more effort away. The psychological hook is intermittent relief. Sometimes they give you warmth, approval, or forgiveness, and that small reward keeps you trying. But the standard keeps changing. The defense is to ask for a clear, reasonable standard once. What exactly are you asking for? If the answer keeps changing, stop negotiating with the fog. A moving target is not a standard. It is a control system. Sign 7. They make your boundaries feel like betrayal. You set a limit, and suddenly the conversation becomes about loyalty, love, friendship, respect, or abandonment. You say, I need some time to think. They hear or pretend to hear, you do not care about me. You say, I am not comfortable with that. They respond, so you do not trust me. A boundary is a limit on behavior. Manipulation turns it into a personal attack. You do not want to discuss a private topic. Instead of respecting that, they say, "I thought we were close." Now you are pressured to prove closeness by giving up privacy. This works because most people do not want to feel cruel. They frame self-respect as rejection, so you feel responsible for their emotional response. Protect yourself by refusing the false translation. This boundary is not a punishment. It is what I need. People who respect you may not love every boundary, but they will not need to destroy it to feel secure. So what do these 7 signs have in common? They all create confusion between care and control. Questions become interrogations. Guilt becomes a leash. Silence becomes punishment. Concern becomes criticism. Standards keep moving. Boundaries are treated as betrayal. The pattern is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet enough that you blame yourself before you question the dynamic. But once you see the pattern, you can slow it down. Do not argue with every accusation. Do not explain until you are empty. Do not chase silence. Do not accept guilt as evidence. And most importantly, do not become what hurt you. Psychological self-defense is not about becoming colder. It is about becoming clearer. You can be kind without being available for control. You can listen without surrendering your judgment. You can care about someone and still say no. That is the shield. Subscribe to Mind Shield and learn to recognize control before it quietly takes your place.